Welcome, Reverend Al Sharpton, to the show.
Congratulations on your show.
She's authentic.
We're bringing Joe Madison, known as the Black Eagle.
Congratulations on having the show. Nothing is more important than the local programs that engage our communities.
She's a proud HBCU grad. It's time for Alicia Reese's Soul Food. Food for the soul. On Cincinnati's 24-hour urban gospel connection, Inspiration 1050 AM and 103.1 FM WGRI.
Alicia Reece Soul Food is on your radio now. Ooh. Bringing that hot sauce to your radio dial. Ooh. Yeah. Alicia Reece Soul Food is on your radio now. Ooh. Bringing that hot sauce to your radio now. Alicia Reece Soul Food is on your radio now.
Hey. We're back. Alicia Reece Soul Food, food for the soul. And man, it has been, I can't believe the week went by this fast. I mean, man, we had an incredible Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame, Cincinnati Music Fest weekend, and just had, oh man, we're going to talk about it today. Might talk about it today, next week, the week after. I mean, all this work, man, I'll tell you, hopefully when we talk about it, we'll put that graphic up of what our new totals are. Man, I can't believe it. I asked y'all to help me break the record. We wanted to break the record and get to 350,000 visitors since we've been open. And y'all just went all in because now we're over 400,000. I think it's 400,558 visitors. Woo! We're going to talk about it. Now, that's some real hot sauce. I'm telling you, to do that, don't tell me what God will not do, y'all. I mean, we went from rocks, that's zero, from the bottom, all the way to over 400,000 visitors. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's nothing that's normal. You hear that, when you start talking about, Kings Island and the zoo, and you hear about it, you may hear about it with, the stadiums, or you might hear about it with the zoo and all those things, and Freedom Center, all those big things that have marketing budgets that year round and have, ticketed, events year round, and they have, marketing. But to come in with no brochure, come on now. We don't even have a brochure. To come in with no dedicated marketing budget, we don't even advertise year round. We only advertise when we have our induction ceremony. And it's still too many people say, man, I'm my first time there. I've never seen it, and we're at 400,558. And we have a clicker. So we're the only free event that I can think of that has a clicker. Most free events, they don't have clickers. They do what they call some estimations or guesstimations. I mean, we actually have a clicker. And as the founder, Hamilton County, they put a clicker on me. And so, but I'm glad because we were able to get some real numbers. So when people jump up, I had this much, I had the guesstimations, they don't allow it. 400,558 real people, real numbers at the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. So when people say, is anybody going down there? You tell them, girl, yeah, they got a clicker on them. We know what time you came. We know what dates you came. So when people say, I'm getting people down there, we just go to the data and we'll know. Did you get somebody down there? Now, we don't get no credit But people say, I drove past it. That doesn't count. Or I walked past it. It don't count. If you don't come inside of it, you got to come inside the outdoor technology park so that the clicker can get you. And my understanding, it won't even double do it. So if you do it once, about an hour, you can't just go back in and out, in and out, in and out, is what I'm told. So folks that said, girl, I drove by the Walk of Fame. We appreciate it, but you got to come in and experience the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. Or we marched past it. We don't get no credit for that. If you march past it, the clicker says 0 attendees. It says 0 attendees. If you walking past it, jogging past it, marching past it, or driving past it, the clicker says 0 attendees. You got to experience it. Got to come inside. So those who experienced it and came inside, 400,558, and it's still going. It's still going. We want to, before we get into the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame, I got some hot sauce for y'all. So y'all know what time it is. Y'all know exactly what time it is. Yeah, time for the hot sauce moment. And talk about the children's levy. We've got to take a vote as county commissioners on this Monday. And we've been back and forth on it. And I've been trying to find a way that is a win-win. What do I mean by that? Well, the Tax Levy Review Committee came out and said we need to raise taxes on your property. And originally they said 80%. I said, whoa. Then they came back 72%. And I started to say, wait a minute, because I'm hearing from y'all. And my number one issue is affordability. So if anybody say, Reece, what you working on? Affordability? Everywhere I go to church, y'all stop me. Reece, can you do anything? These property taxes are killing me. I'm barely hanging on to my house. I go to the gas station, they stop me. I'm pumping my gas. Reece, I barely can pump. I don't put $10 in and hope I can get down the street. These gas prices are too high and I can't afford it. Then people call me and say, girl, did you read Duke Energy is getting ready to go up on the gas and electric? Reece, do you know anybody can help us? Because I already can't pay the gas and electric. And they get ready to turn my lights off. And now they're talking about they want 30% more. Then I hear from people say, hey, I could barely pay the mortgage. I had someone says, I can't afford home ownership. I heard some people tell me that. They got me in home ownership. It's more than the down payment. I got a mortgage, and man, these property taxes are killing me. I've got some neighbors said, hey, I retired. Now I got to work 2 more jobs, and now they keep going up on the property taxes. So affordability is the number one issue. I hear people say, they done cut my hours on the job, or they done got rid of my whole department. I go to the grocery store. I saw a lady had to put back 2 things of chicken. She said, because I can't afford it. Now, these aren't people that don't SNAP. These are people that's been paying. They don't have food stamps. They can't afford it. So there's a squeeze on people right now economically. There's a squeeze. Then I was at the doctor, and I'm leaving the doctor trying to keep my blood pressure down. And I run in the hallway, and the guy says, man, this healthcare is killing me. They done increased my copay. I can't afford it. I had someone who injured themselves, needed to go to the hospital, but said the hospital copay was almost $100. They said, oh, yeah, they changed your insurance. So the person said, I can't come here. I got to wait, even though it might have been dangerous for their health. I got to wait till Monday when I could try to get into the doctor so I could afford the copay. This is what people are facing. Now, our children, our foster children, They don't get to choose who are their parents and what conditions they're born in or what economic status or bracket they could be born into. So we definitely got to take care of our children. But at the same time, grandma can't lose her house. And so all this is going on. And at the same time, we've got stadiums in Hamilton County that the taxpayers pay for. With the stadium sales tax, they only went to the ballot one time, and that was in the 1990s. The children's levy got to go to the ballot every time. Every few years, they got to go back. That's the wrong message. So I suggested that we take some of the money from the stadium fund and put toward children's services. So then the levy could be down to maybe just a 10%. I know 10%, it's just a 10% increase or flat. When I brought this up with a new idea, of course, they always say you can't do this, you can't. And I hate that because when Democrats, when we get in, all of a sudden they always say what can't be done. And then when others are in, all of a sudden you can do new ideas. So you always got to watch the administrators who are not elected, but come to you and tell you something can't be done. And then somebody else get elected, they get to jumping because they're not asking their opinion. They're telling them what needs to happen. So I said, wait a minute, we could do this. And now we won't have no 72% or no 80% or no 40% because people can't afford it. And so it got a little hot and heavy. It's always hot when you're standing up for the taxpayers. When you stand up for taxpayers, everybody get mad. But then when the billionaires show up, I've seen it. The business community or the billionaires, I've seen the administration do a bow face. Oh, we can do this. And oh, wait a minute, we can do that. We can get this going. Let's get our calculators out. We can make this work. They never have the guts to tell them no, but you got the guts to tell a commissioner representing 218,000 votes, oh, you bad now. Oh, you bold now. Oh, you got some bravado. But when the business people call, I've seen it. You get scared, you down to a whisper, and you do what they tell you to do. So we've got the same thing going with the Cincinnati Public Schools. They said they needed a levy, and they were going to come with an income tax. But the business community told them no. So now everybody, the elected officials and everybody, they're going to have to rescind it. Now, me as a elected body, county commissioner, I tell them, no, we can't do no 72%, can't do no 80%, and they go crazy. But we going to stand up. So they had a thing, Commissioner Reece walked out. Yes, I'm always going to walk out when you disrespecting the voters and the taxpayers. And I was talking to the administrator, and then one of his staff members just jumped out of nowhere and came to the podium just as bold and got nasty. Nasty. And he didn't do anything. But when the business people call, he tells everybody, shut up, stand down, and out they all let a whisper, scared to say no. So here's the deal. I dismissed myself from the meeting because the guy couldn't be talking. He must have been talking to the air. He couldn't have been talking to me. And I didn't come back. And I want to tell you, they now have put a 10% option for us to consider. But Monday is the day. And I'm saying we can get the money from the stadium fund, borrow against the future earnings. We should not have children going to the ballot and billionaires going to the bank. It's the wrong thing. Stadiums, I love sports, but stadiums is a luxury. Our children is a necessity. So let's switch it. Let's make sure the children are funded, and then let the stadiums go to the ballot. And if people want to, do more or whatever, then they can. That's what I am proposing. Has it been done before? No. But maybe that's why we're in the mess we're in now. So that's where we're at. That's my position. That's what I'm fighting for. So that you don't have a 72% or 80%, 40%. You can't afford it. Gas has gone up. Duke Energy wants to go up another 30%. Rent done went up. Your mortgage is up. Property taxes jumping up. You don't have no extra money is what I'm hearing. So now we got to be more creative. And that's what we're going to do. So Monday we'll have that vote. That's the hot sauce. That's what's been going on. So y'all will know, what is Commissioner Reece? I came right out of the Black Music Walk of Fame. He said, girl, you need a vacation. I ain't had no vacation. I had to go in here because we trying to save the children, and we also trying to save grandma's house at the same time. So it's not popular. They don't like it. They wanted to go ahead and sneak in 72% on you. And by the time you find out, you done got a bill, a property tax bill, and you shouting through the rooftop. So we wanted to make sure you know what is going on. And that's a good way we can do it. I've talked to some lawyers. They said it can be done. But again, whenever it's a break for the taxpayers, they can't do nothing. On the same meeting, I'm going to tell you this. The same meeting, they said they can't do it for the taxpayers. They can't fund the children without going way up on your property taxes. They passed $600 million in the same meeting for the stadium. $600 million bond deal. I said, I can't, what? No, we shouldn't even be voting on this right now. And it's something that don't even start till next season, after this whole football season. And got it just as bold on the agenda with a straight face. With a straight face. That's what they're mad about. They'll say, well, Commissioner Reece, you've been fighting. You're up against the wall. Can you get something done? Yes, I've been fighting, and I've won some. I lost a few, but I won some. I won the bus. That was a fight. 513 relief bus. Over 60,000 services helping people free, no copay. I won 30%. Y'all was promised 30% when you voted for the stadium. Every year we got to vote on it. I got it done twice. 30% rebate on your property taxes. So yes, everything small, but we can't handle Office of Small. We got an Office of Small Business. So yes, there is a fight, there is a battle, but when you want change, you got to fight. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We already won. Before I walked out of that meeting, they refused to even consider 10% or flat. Now it at least will be considered on Monday. So Tuesday, they told me no. Thursday, they put it on there as an option. We will continue affordability to all candidates, to everybody running, to all elected officials. The number one issue is affordability. Everything is too expensive. You're getting more expenses and less revenue. Nobody's getting extra checks. Checks are getting cut. Gas prices are going up. Rent is going up. Mortgages are more expensive. Property taxes are going up. You name it, it's going up. So affordability is my number one from what I'm hearing from the people. Affordability is the number one issue. So that's the hot sauce. That's the hot sauce. Now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is. It's that time. I started a show when I was at Grambling, and it is now the weekend, baby, y'all. It's the weekend, baby. All right, the weekend, baby. Let me just say to welcome the brothers of Omega Sci-Fi Incorporated. Their international convention is in Cincinnati, and we want to welcome folks. If you want to come to the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame, I encourage everybody. I just don't know anybody, any convention, any organization, anybody, and it's not just for blacks, but especially if you're black, You don't go to Detroit without seeing Motown. You don't go to Kansas City without going to the Negro League. You don't go to these different places. You don't go to Minneapolis. You don't see Paisley Park. And I just don't believe you come to Cincinnati and forget about the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. Again, obviously they're not forgetting because we got over 400,000. It is absolutely free. It don't have to be your only stop, but it should be a stop. And so I want to welcome the convention to town. We're at the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. Ricky Lewis, your grand president, international president, was down there. Got a chance to enjoy. So Q's, y'all come on down there. Enjoy. All the people that's in town. It's free. We're located at 190 Marion Way is where we are. And I want to give a special shout out to Jackie Taggart Boyd, who is part of my staff now. But before, she was at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Cincinnati, and was the one that pitched the Omega. So you have to pitch these things years in advance. And it didn't look like we could get it. And some didn't know the value of what we were trying to, what she was trying to do. And she went down to Tampa almost alone, with no help almost. And she took a stab at it. And she mailed her famous pound cake down. And she gave each of them her pound cake and gave her a presentation. And from what I hear, they were so impressed with the pound cake, they said yes to Cincinnati, Ohio. So shout out to Jackie Taggart Boyd and everybody that's participating and making sure they have a great time. But I wanted to make sure that we didn't forget the pound cake, the presentation, and the sealing of the deal. So they come on down. Y'all check out the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. Learn about the history music has made. But when he was down there, he's from Long Beach, California. First thing he said, how did y'all get something like this? I said, well, y'all got the Hollywood. He said, we ain't got nothing like this. So y'all get on down there and enjoy. And we welcome you to the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. All right, we're going to talk about the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. This thing was incredible. And you guys could call in. Anybody want to call in, 513-579-1050. Who went to the Black Music Walk of Fame, okay? If you didn't make it, we'll catch you next year. But you were one of the few that didn't make it because the place was packed. We hit capacity in 11 minutes in the Brady Center, and it was a fabulous event. And then outside, we had a watch party because we had the screens. You know how in church they got the overflow? We had the overflow outside with the screens, and people were enjoying that as well. We had some seniors. We had our seniors coming down on the bus and VIP. I mean, this thing was incredible. You're talking Regina Bell with the Legacy Award, but she also performed. Come on now. Shirley Murdoch. She opened the thing up as a dedication to our past inductees. Come on now. Midnight Star on the big stage outside. Oh man, tore it up. 50th anniversary. I'm gonna still repeat those. But first, let me go to the line. Phone number 513-579-1050. Let's go to the phone line. We've got a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Commissioner Reece.
Hi. Is this Miss Viola Brown?
Yes, it is.
How you doing, Miss Viola? Now, Miss Viola, you coordinated these buses, and the buses filled up in like 5 minutes. 3 buses. Want to give a shout out to Metro. Thank y'all so much. Corinthian Baptist Church. Thank y'all so much as well. So tell us about what the experience was like.
The experience was phenomenal. It was wonderful. Commissioner Reece, once again, I have to thank you for looking out for the seniors. We greatly appreciate it, and they came out in droves. My line was constantly busy, even after the buses were full. As a matter of fact, people are still calling that line, wanting to know if they can get in next year. But we thank you because we filled 3 buses. We had a wonderful time. We was blessed to have our own section where we didn't have to wait in line. We had great seats. We had probably the best seats for us. And we all thoroughly enjoyed it. We came out laughing and excited. And people really want to come back again next year. They're already calling me. So shout out to Metro. Shout out to Corinthian Baptist for the hospitality they showed towards us. And shout out to all of the volunteers who worked with me to make sure this was a success.
Wow. Well, we appreciate it because people was looking for it. They was like, where's Miss Viola in that bus? And this place was, I mean, we were stacked and packed in there.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you again and shout out to all those VIP seniors that came out on the bus, Miss Viola. Thank you. We love you and we appreciate you.
Again, thank you for the opportunity and thank you for looking out for the seniors.
Thank you. Yeah, we're talking everything Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, it takes a lot to put something like this together. Now, y'all know about the induction. Yeah, that's WCIN and the unveiling. But now let's go to the video, if we can, on the behind the scenes of putting a production like this together. Let's see if we can take a look and take a listen. God gave me the vision, and I'm so thankful for the assignment. We've got to be producers. We've got to write scripts. We choreographed routines. Welcome to the homecoming. Step one was building the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame, which is now award-winning. God gave me the vision, and I'm so thankful for the assignment to go from rocks to winning awards across the country. Now, this is a tech project. We use technology, augmented reality, and automation in order to capture and tell the stories of Black artists and musicians. It's when technology meets Black music legacy. And we're the only one in the country right now in the forefront. Now that I dedicated 5 years of my life, but that's in the documentary. And you can go to From the Rocks to get the story. But the next step was, how do we honor these legends and icons, influencers and inductees, and how do we do it in a way where the whole community can participate? So if you've never been invited to the BET Awards or the Oscars or the Emmys or the Stellar Awards, you were invited to a first-class induction ceremony right here at the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. Many of you know me as a policymaker, but what you may not know is that I'm also a creative. In fact, I got my degree in communications at Grambling State University. And while I was down there, I was introduced and reintroduced to radio as a radio personality myself. I've had 30 years in broadcasting, marketing, and also being on-air personality and doing documentaries. In fact, at Grambling, I had the #1 Black college radio show in Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi, tying into the music. But then I would go on to be elected Miss Grambling State University. And that's when I got really introduced to the homecoming experience. Down at Grambling with the world-famed Grambling Tiger Marching Band and other bands at HBCUs. And that's why I thought it was so important that we must tie in the Black culture of the HBCUs as well as music. And so when we started thinking about how do we put this together, one year we had the grand opening, and that was fabulous. The next year we had the first year anniversary birthday. That was fabulous. Then we had Where Them Fans At, and we broke the record, over 300,000 visitors. So this year, we had to sit down and say, how do we put this together? Now, this is not an easy task. It's not an easy thing to put this induction ceremony together. There's so many moving parts. One, we had to have a vision. And so this year I said the vision is homecoming. We're going to have the HBCU homecoming experience, and we're bringing the legacies back home. That's what the Black Music Walk of Fame is all about. bringing back home the legacies, bringing back home the Isley brothers, bringing back home Penny Ford, bringing back home Felipe Wynn, bringing back home the legacies. And so we tie that in. I said, this year, let's do homecoming. Now, we put together a team of folks who had never worked together before. I'm talking great talent, talented individuals in various areas. And we came together and I said, wait a minute, we've got to be producers. We've got to write scripts. We've got to have technology. We've got to have screens, what's going to be on the screens. We've got to have video content. We've got to have everything that flows, but then we also have to have transportation. We've got transportation for seniors. I said, I want my seniors here. Then we want to have our youth. I said, I want my youth involved. We choreographed routines, music. We had to bring music. We had to be the music directors and bring the music in to put together this type of show. And then we've got people coming in from all over the country. And then I said, I want to make sure this thing is free. So now I had to go out and raise money so it can be free for everybody and get what you call private partnerships. You've got public and private partnerships. And so then I wanted everybody to put on white. So now we're unified. We're unity. And so we're walking the red carpet. We're marching in. I wanted to have a parade of stars where you come in and you're the star and you're parading in. And then we want to make sure that we try to hit our goal of over 350,000 visitors. So we've got marketing, we've got promotions, we've got a show to put on. We've got all these different elements that make up the induction ceremony. Late nights, late Zooms, sketching, writing, directing, producing, music, all of that, so that we can have what I call the greatest show on earth. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the homecoming. I get a lot of questions because, like I said, a lot of people know me as a policymaker, and I am. I am a policymaker, but the other side of, you have people, they're lawyers or doing something else, and I want to be clear because a lot of times I put so much into it, and you may say, well, you're great at, doing that, but I'm more than a politician. And even before this, so a couple things you may not know. I always like to give you information that you may not know, because I could not have done this. I couldn't have pulled it off without, of course, God's blessing, but without the talent and the ability and the training that I've had in producing, marketing, entrepreneurship, promotions. Those are the areas where I have a background. So I'm going to give y'all a few tips that you may not know. Of course, my degree at Grambling State University was in communications, bachelor's degree. I did not major in political science. I learned election and politics and all that from growing up in it, but my degree was in communications and my minor was in Spanish at Grambling State. I started in radio over 30 years ago, starting with my first show in college. And even though I was at the radio station with my dad, watching him do shows, I ended up having my own show at Grambling at KGRM FM station with 50,000 watts of sound. The show was heard in Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. It was a very popular show, and I won a lot of awards. I also was a producer, the first producer of Lincoln Ware's first ever radio talk show, daily show on WCIN. It was Cincinnati's first daily Black talk show. I was in charge of booking the national guests, developing and marketing and promoting and putting a plan together for promotions and recruiting sponsors. Because John Thomas from WCIN said, y'all can try this experiment, but I ain't paying for it. So we had to do our regular jobs, plus try to get sponsorships for this. And it just really took off. And Lincoln Ware's got a huge show today. Next is I had a lot of training with the opportunity to be the first African-American assistant and deputy director for the state of Ohio's tourism division. And my job there was managing the rebranding. We did the rebranding of the state and the ad campaigns. It created one of the largest return on investment campaigns in the state's history. So I got a lot of experience with that. Then got experience at licensing music. I licensed the OJ's Living for the Weekend song for the Ohio tourism campaign. And I curated the state's tourism kickoff at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So that's how I had a lot of interaction with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and had to promote them as well. Oversaw the state of Ohio's tourism, radio, TV, and digital and print commercials for the whole state, including the state of Ohio's first ever television ad targeting Black tourists. Worked with the ad agency, put all those pieces together, which increased tourism dollars for the state. I also was a part of the team on how do we fund tourism. So I had to learn all the tax codes, the tax credits. How do we fund tourism and put together a new funding model for tourism for the state of Ohio, which they use today. So I had to learn that technical financial model, which really helped me with the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame when I was talking about how we can create it. How are we going to finance it and make sure that your taxes don't go up? The Black Music Walk of Fame is not funded with any property taxes or general fund. It is funded through hotel motel tax. So when the festival brings all these people in, or the Omegas come and all this money we spend, hotel motel tax usually never returns back to investing in anything Black, although it's getting Black dollars. So I said, wait a minute, we're going to return a portion to the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame permanency, and also parking revenues that's right down there. So when you park down there. So those are the things I had to learn by being at the state of Ohio. In addition to that, I have produced 2 documentaries and very excited. The team, y'all need to watch them. One of them is the Dr. Stephen Reece Sr. story, From the Bottom Up. The other one is From the Rocks, which talks about the Walk of Fame, building it, what went behind that. You want to definitely take that into consideration. Many of you may not know, we talk about Ohio bringing movies, film projects to Ohio. Well, I was appointed as the interim director of Ohio's first ever statewide film office. And I was responsible for writing the official rules for Ohio's first ever film tax credits, which resulted and has resulted into more film productions coming not just to Cincinnati, but to all over Ohio. I learned a lot about the tax credit. Most people say, okay, let's talk about the acting. Let's talk about the film people, the cinematography. I learned how to finance films and what tax credits are. And then I had to write the rules. And one of the first movies under that was one of the Denzel Washington movies that came to Nelsonville, Ohio. So that was one of the things I had to learn and be a part of. Also, y'all know at the Cincinnati Music Festival, they got the club lounge and they got the DJ, they got Baby Rome, and everybody buys the club seats because you can come inside and dance in between the acts. Well, guys, did you know that was my idea? I was with the tourism, assistant director of tourism, and I wanted to support the festival with funding. And I had to come up with a way we could do it. And I met with Joe and God, I can't think of his name, was with the Bengals. But I met with them and I said, listen, why don't we create what's called the Ohio Lounge? And in the Ohio Lounge, this is before Procter & Gamble was their sponsor. I think Macy's was that time. Ohio Lounge, we're going to take the club level and I said, get Baby Rome, and then we're going to do cutaways. So you'll cut away to the screen and we're live and we'll say, hey, we're here live at the Ohio Lounge, and the people are dancing and having a good time. And I was able to get the state to put in money and from tourism, and I got lottery put in money. And I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, you could win money inside that lounge. And we went back and forth. And so people most people wanted the field seats first, and they wouldn't want the club. Nobody wanted the 200s. But when people were outside and they looked at that screen and everybody was partying, people was like, where is that at? I got to get there. I got to get there. And so then the club seats, they were able to upcharge. And so the club seats is the number one seats, I'm told, that people want. It sells out very fast because you go indoor and outdoor. Now, we don't do the cutaways in the lounge. They now have Procter & Gamble, so they have these activations throughout the stadium, and they do the cutaways there. But they still got Baby Rome, and they still dancing, and it's not called the Ohio Lounge anymore. But when I was there, we sponsored it. And now tourism, I'm not there, and they ain't sponsoring. And that's kind of how the festival has been. I was at the city. I supported the music festival. I'm at the county. I support the music festival. I was at the state. I supported the music festival because this the oldest festival in the Midwest. And I've been going since I was 5 years old. My mother even opened up for Stevie Wonder at the festival. So my point is, when y'all go in that lounge, when you go in the lounge, just remember, y'all know somebody that helped put that idea together from the beginning. Also, when I was the vice mayor, I created of Cincinnati. I created Cincinnati on the Move campaign. Did that campaign and didn't get none of this stuff. I got paid no extra. Just wanting to do good and the right thing. Cincinnati on the Move campaign, because we had the boycotts and the riots and all this stuff. And when that was over, we had Cincinnati on the Move, and that brought in. I helped pitch to bring in the Prince Hall Shriner Convention, the second largest Black convention in the country. Helped pitch National Baptist. I went there personally and pitched it and begged them, and they came. Largest Black convention in the country. And then I was president of Ohio Legislative Black Caucus. And I said, we've never been to Cincinnati. We coming to Cincinnati, and brought the Ohio Legislative Black Caucus convention to Cincinnati for the first time and only time in history. And there's more, but of course, that's that. Now, Grambling means a lot. I was elected Miss Grambling State University. I learned a lot about homecomings, and I even wrote and produced and developed my own coordination. You get a coordination, and they spent, I don't know, about 20-some thousand. And I came and I wrote my own script. I produced who the singers were. Now, this back in college, y'all. And my theme was The Wiz. And the theme was the Yellow Brick Road to Success. And I choreographed, I wrote my script, I recruited the people who going to do the emceeing of it. I got the singers, what songs are going to happen. So I've been shaking it up for a long time. My school was like, we ain't never had the Miss Grambling do all this. I said, I'm doing it. I'm a communications student. And it was phenomenal, and had, a couple thousand people who attended. Worked for Procter & Gamble was my first internship, but as vice mayor, helped bring the Black Football Classic to Cincinnati and get Grambling to play in it. Ludacris was performing. But my role was to work with Procter & Gamble on the advertising, developing the national advertising, and curating the national press and ad buys. We were in Ebony magazine, Jet magazine. We brought the head of Johnson's daughter in town. I mean, we did it all, and I got a chance to work directly with Procter & Gamble's folks in their offices and putting these pieces together. So I was very excited to do that. So with all of that, I wanted you to know all those experiences are how we got to this point, and pouring in all of those. So coming up with the Gold Star Chili Countdown Pep Rally, which was successful, coming up with the Black Music Walk of Fame, Black Music Month partnership at Hard Rock Casino, and now having an exhibit. Y'all check it out. We got an exhibit at Hard Rock Casino Cafe now. And all these were huge events, thanks to you all. But putting them together, coming up with them, curating them, and then of course, the library that now has a permanent exhibit, and we do it for Juneteenth. And we had this year over 2,400 people attend. So all of that, we start talking about the veterans. Put on your calendar, August 15th, Veterans Appreciation Day. All of that, coming up with those things. These are the things of how people say, how did you come up with it? This is the talent God gave me and the experiences I have. So now we're going to be at TQL, y'all. We're going to march in, put August 15th. We're going to march for Washington Park. If you a veteran, you've ever served, your family ever served, we marching in. We ain't never done that. And we've got thousands that will be attending. The 513 relief bus, putting that together. The state of the county, putting it together. That's a production. Scripts, we had to write the scripts, what's going to be on the video, how we're going to set the place up, how we're going to promote it. All those things came from the training. So wanted you all to know that. I want to thank the team that we had this year to put this together, because I've got to come up with all this stuff, but then I got to assemble a team that can execute. And I know we got a picture. All of them aren't on that picture, but I'm going to name some of them, and I want to thank them. I want to thank Romaine Jones. Thank you very much. I want to thank Aziza. She does my show, y'all. That's why I look the way I look, and it's great. But all of the creatives, if I have ideas, she doesn't say, oh my God, let's put this together. Let's get this out. And I want to thank Aziza from AZ Media, Romaine Jones, who's a co-producer and project manager this year, Veda Stevens from my office and chief of staff, Jackie Taggart Board from my office, who's director of outreach. And I want to thank Al Chang. I want to thank Sybil. I want to thank Cam, Alexis Calloway, Don Juan for show, not just a celebrity DJ, but really music curator with us. Kawana, thank you very much for your volunteerism. The Q Kids, I'm so amazed. I get to keep my mama believe and grew up in the West End, and to bring the Q Kids, these little girls are just amazing. Out of the West End is just amazing. Second Win, outstanding job. And thank you, Aretha, for co-hosting the pre-show. John Murray, our national celebrity host, thank you for coming back again and being with us. I want to thank Ivy Taylor, who just, believed in us, came with us, saw what we did last year. Regina Bell came back, believes in us. She's Regina Bell's manager. Galen, thank you for the Kinley Hotel. We really appreciate all that you have done. I may have missed Aziz. If I missed anybody, text me. But the core people, and I want to thank my family. I definitely want to thank my family. I want to thank my father, Dr. Stephen Reece Sr., all the wisdom over the decades of my life for being there. I want to thank my sister, Tiffany, who just comes in and says, hey, I'll help out. If you need me to volunteer and help out, I want to thank her. And she's got a tough job. She's a first Black woman assistant director of the Cincinnati Recreation Commission. So we do appreciate her. My brother, Coach Steve Reece Jr., had just became Coach of the Year and won the national championship at the Peace Jam. I didn't know he was going to make it, and he surprised me. And my sister-in-law, Karen, my brother-in-law, LaDante, and my nieces, the twins, Tania and Tiara. Tiara, thank you. She's an up-and-coming photographer, so she was taking pictures, and I really appreciate her. And then want to thank my niece, Brianna, who came. I appreciate her flying in and bringing my great niece, Miss Alani. She'll be 1 in a couple months. So she got to come and see her first Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. And she didn't cry. She was looking around. She was taking it all in. I want to thank her. I want to thank and acknowledge that a saying that my mother gave me, we start at excellence. This is what she used to tell me at home. We start at excellence and work our way up. And that's what we really wanted to give that experience to everyone. If you've never been to the BET Awards, you've never been to Oscars or the Grammys, you got to come here, but you got to do it free. Even though it's free, we made it classy. I want to shout out to the WCIN family. Congratulations on getting your star. I think we can put that picture back up. Congratulations, WCIN. Yeah, there it is. WCIN. It was packed. Congratulations to all of you, John Thomas and everybody. And I'm so happy that I got a chance to also be a part of the WCIN, family. Heat Wave. Oh my God. I don't know if we got a picture, but Heat Wave. Oh man. The original members coming in. Oh, thank y'all. Heat Wave was unbelievable. I'm talking Boogie Nights and everything. And they brought the mother who's 94 years young. 94 years young, still going. Y'all can see, look at last week's show. Y'all can go to Alicia Reece Soul Food. Look at last week's show. You'll see all of that. We captured the great history there. Shirley Murdoch. Oh my God. Love you, love you, love you. You tore the house down. Regina Bell. I don't know if we got a picture of them or Regina Bell. You tore the house there. Oh my God. She sang her songs. And the first time she sang A Whole New World since People Bryson had passed. It got very emotional. Very. So happy to give you the Legacy Award. I know we don't have time to play the tape for New Edition. There's Shirley. Oh man, Shirley came on and said, she gonna sing her? Yeah, she sang. She sang all her songs. I love it. And did a big tribute to Zap and Roger. We really appreciate that. And all of them, everybody looks so beautiful. And Midnight Star turned it out. We are Midnight Star. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't know if we got a picture of them, but Midnight Star. There they are. We are Midnight Star. Oh, they turned it out. I'm talking about outside people. Oh, it was packed outside. I mean, it was packed inside and it was packed outside. And so we partied. They're giving us the numbers, but they said we almost had 6,000 people just for that. But remember, our overall goal, we hit 400,000. But I see people, they say, I got a crowd. Show me 400,000. I'm so excited. And then I want to thank also part of our team, Nyjah, handling Nyjah and Swia, and handling, making sure everybody looked good, including me, and with looking good on stage. We can pull my picture up, and a shout out to Pletheria from New Attitude. Everybody said, where'd she get her dresses from? I'm telling you, it was such a nightmare trying to find this. I've been on this since January and didn't get, and I want to thank Pletheria Stylist. She said, I ain't stopping till we get you together. And God blessed me with two when I was only looking with one. So we had one on for stage, and I just want to thank New Attitude, Pletheria Stylist, Swia, hair, Nyjah, makeup, and y'all also had everybody else also looking great as well. I just really want to thank y'all. Do we have that picture with me on the red carpet with, I don't know if we had that one, with my other outfit on. They could see it with Regina Bell and Shirley. I'm not sure if we have it, but I just couldn't say enough. So when y'all post your pictures, thank y'all for posting. I need y'all to tag CINCY. There it is. That's my other outfit. So I had two. And that's a historic picture. Shirley Murdoch, Regina Bell, and Edna, representing National AARP. I want to thank all the partners. But when you do your pictures, please tag Cincy, CINCY, Black Music Walk of Fame. CINCY, Black Music Walk of Fame. And that will be available on Facebook. And it's also available on Instagram. And I want you all, if you're looking for your pictures, say, I took some pictures and I ain't seen them. go to our page, CINCY Black Music Walk of Fame, and you'll be able to see some of your pictures. We're still putting pictures up. Keep posting, y'all. Keep posting. This thing was not easy. We had to, I always tell people stuff that take, 6 months or more to do. We can't just give it 60 seconds. We got to give God more praise, more glory, more honor. And so we're going to continue to put those up. So that's very, very important. So please put it up. Our partners, I don't know if we have a partner slide. I want to thank them. I don't want to miss anybody, but I do want to thank Procter & Gamble, Damon Jones. Thank you so much. I want to thank the Urban League of Southwest Ohio, Christy Coons. I want to thank Lincoln Ware, our chair of our selection committee. We done had some phenomenal selections that have gone into the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame and the entire volunteer committee. I want to thank AARP. I want to thank the Greater Cincinnati Foundation. I want to thank, I'm trying to go off the top of my head, Waterworks. Thanks for keeping everybody hydrated. We really appreciate it. We want to thank Festival 513. We want to thank Real Time Media. There it is. Of course, Hamilton County, Davis Cookies, Barbara Turner. I still don't have my glasses on all of these. I don't have all my glasses, but y'all see them on there. Metro, Cincinnati Music Fest. Thank all of them. Cincy Black Travel app. Visit Cincy. Yes. Cincinnati Public Library. Give a shout out to all of them. Let them see that. Let them see the partners real quick. And there it is. Okay. Well, there it is right there. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. It has been a doozy. Don't forget, put on your calendar Saturday, August 15th. If you're a veteran, meet us at TQL. Starts at 10 a.m. We'll be marching in from the, we will be marching in. Let me get this. We'll be marching in from Washington Park. And put on your calendars next year. Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame Induction Ceremony and Celebration will take place next year. Very, very important. On Saturday, July 24th. Saturday, July 24th. Thank you, Linda Child Cedars. I love you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Karen Jones, I see it. Thank you for being on. And Shirley, I saw you checking in. All right, everybody. Until next time. And remember, I want y'all to remember something. This stuff is not easy. So when y'all start calling me right after, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? I'm here to tell you that my doctor, Dr. Keith Melvin, and my eye doctor, Dr. Daryl Melvin, has told me I got to get myself together, my health together. So we are going to be focusing. I'm going to be focused on that because I got to get retooled. Because we got some budgetary fights coming ahead of us. So you don't just, oh man, you look beautiful. And by the way, I got 15 things I need you to do. I won't be able to help you. And then we've got to get ready for, I'm not running, but we got to get this vote out. So I got a lot to do to get myself back retooled and just thanking God, praying, and restoration is where I'm at. Okay, everybody, until next time, don't forget the hot sauce. Peace.